Hey guys, welcome to MLA Committee. My name is Krishna, and today I'm going to give you the tips to make right kind of a data science resume. So we are going to discuss 7 tips, and trust me, once you go through all the tips, you will have the right kind of a mindset and maturity to make your own data science resume well. So let's start. So the with first tip, which is a kind of a basic, which you can apply it in any kind of a resume, and which you need to make sure you do it in your current resume is it should be precise and concise. So you need to think about the relevant things and you need to put it in a right kind of a words. So you need to define what is the right kind of a word to define this kind of a problem and what not to put in the resume. So the same structure which you follow with mostly in any kind of a resume that you need to follow, that is the basic practice. The second tip is that is also a kind of a basic is don't put paragraphs, use bullet points, have the snapshot and glance of things which one can understand, but just checking your just one can understand just by checking your resume. And the other thing is like when you define a problem, you define what kind of a tech stack and what is the liveliness of that particular problem. For example, if you work on a maybe data science project A, so you need to crisply define that problem statement, and the most important thing is that particular solution is live in the system or not, and if it is live, what is the impact it is creating, and that particular impact I can say that this is must to keep it in bold because many of the times when uh, com- companies like look for the data scientist, they look for what kind of impact they are creating in the current role. So that's why you need to put the impacts in bold for sure. Then the references are always useful. So if you have references which you can put in your resume, I'll say that it's kind of a icing on cake for data science resumes. So better to put it. So these 2 tips, like we have seen that it's very generic, which you can apply it in any kind of a resume, right? If you are coming from an engineering background, that also you need to follow the similar approach. So let's see what's next. So I'm going to give you my 5 secrets which you can apply it while building your data science resume. And it's the way you are going to think and you are going to make that mindset. So think in that direction. So let's see. So I see that I get a lot of resumes. I pretty much get 30 to 40 resume on daily basis, and I see that many of the times people make this mistake where they are putting their side projects first. Uh, Maybe that is acceptable for positions like intern or maybe starting level positions, but definitely for an experienced person, this gives a negative feedback that your side projects are more focused or you have more confidence on side projects than your industry projects. So that's why when you need to think about your profile and you need to think that where you belong. So if you are an experienced data scientist or you are in data science domain for at least an year or something, definitely you should not put your side project as a kind of a first project. So and it is acceptable if you are in you're just coming out from college or you're looking for your internship. In that cases, this is the right thing to do, but definitely not in case of the experienced people. The other thing is like when you are having industry exposure and you are putting your side projects first, many times many industries, many companies actually give preference to past experience, and in your resume itself you are somehow reflecting that your past experience is not that good enough. So that is also not good approach. So that is also kind of a reason that we should not put side project as first. Okay. The second secret I can say is like if you see people put a lot of projects. So you see, I get resumes which are four pages resume, and it has a lot of projects. Okay, but actually that is not important. So having more number of projects is not the important thing. You need to put the projects which you have actually worked on, and you are involved in the process of building that particular solution. starting from research side of the things, and you have the focused and in-depth knowledge of it, then only put those projects. And trust me, if you're putting those projects and keeping their impact also in the resume, definitely it's better than having multiple things and not having any impact of it. So that is also the kind of a thing which you can consider while building your data science resume. The other thing is like, well, write only practical experience. So I see that this is pretty much missing in most of the resumes, or even in experienced ones also, where people, if people are reading something on deep neural network, or maybe you have not worked on CNN but you know how CNN works, okay, and you have gone through different kind of blogs or videos to check out how CNN works. And in those cases, they put CNN as a kind of a skill set. Okay, that okay, I know how it works. Okay, but knowing something and having an experience, it's two different things actually. Because when you understand something, even if you apply that thing in a high scale environment, there is a chance that you'll break things. Okay, and you'll be not knowing how to make it work for different kind of data sets. Okay, that's why be very clear that what is your relevant experience, and only put the things which actually you have done some kind of a practical. And especially if you are in industry for more than 5 years, definitely you should put something which you have actually worked on, and that should reflect in your projects actually. And if you are like having less number of experience or just coming out of the college, in those cases it's okay to put things which you have tried practically, or maybe you have tried it on Kaggle also, that's also good practice. But make sure that you should have the knowledge for it, because many a times this goes in a negative sense where you put something and when interviewer asks you on that direction and you're not able to answer. So in that case what happens is the confidence of the interviewer on all of your skills goes for a toss. Okay, and that's why it's very important to choose the relevant experience, choose the kind of skill set which you acquired through the experience. So that's why that is also kind of a thing. When you're putting in resume, you need to ask yourself that, is this right to put it in the resume or not? And this is, I can say this is my secret, like my loved secret, and which is the curiosity and the data points which you need to reflect in the resume. Ideally your resume should look like it's a kind of a resume which is coming from a mindset of a scientist. Okay, especially data scientist, right? So it should have statements where you're talking about numbers, you're talking about data points, you're talking about something where it shows how much you're interested in the curiosity, how much you're interested in some kind of a problem, right? So though you need to choose the words which belongs to this, and you need to add the data points. That is the most important thing, and many people miss this part. So you need to, while once you're done with the resume, you need to scroll through that and you need to think that, uh, did I see my resume which is kind of a data point heavy, where people can see that, okay, no, it's not like the title is data scientist. He is actually, his resume itself speaks about numbers, right? So in those cases I can say that this tricks works, and that will be kind of a right impression. Last but not the least, which is the contribution to the data science communities or open source project, or if you're working on some kind of a research, or if you've done some paper publications, or you're working with somewhere for the mentorship and all those things are actually important, because many a times data science is a kind of a teamwork where you need a lot of exploration. And this shows that you are good at exploration because you are involved with the research, you are involved with the open source kind of projects, and you are involved with some communities like Google Developer Experts. And also you can check out our ML AI community also. So in those cases it shows that you are connected with the people, so that in case given an unknown kind of a problem, you have the skill set also, and you have the right kind of a support to approach it, right? So that is also a kind of a thing which looks good in the resume. And if you have some contribution to open source in any of the things, definitely you should write it, and that you can highlight in it in your introduction itself. So that's all I can say. That's all my secrets for building the right kind of a data science resume. And I hope that if you follow this and if you think about each of these 7 points, just stop at these slides and just think that okay, if I need to think about my current profile, how these points, how these data points make sense for me. Okay, and that way you can have the right kind of a mindset and the maturity to make your resume, because the resume for an intern and the resume for a maybe 20-year experience in the data science domain should be different, and it should have a it it will have difference because the kind of exposure and experience will be different. But what matters is the kind of the mindset when you're building that resume, it should be the same. So maybe today I don't work on neural networks, I don't have uh, the projects to showcase in the neural network side. But if my resume shows that okay, I'm much interested in the data and I have done something on the something practical, my model is running with a 10 which is helping my company to have 10% kind of a revenue gain, right? So all those things actually helps to make sure to build a right kind of a profile. So think of it, and if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and share this video and my community to all of your network or through LinkedIn, Twitter, whatnot. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye bye.